Welcome back to the KIX 96.5 Morning Show. We love featuring artists that you need to know about. And this Friday night at the Pub Station in Billings, you don't want to miss singer-songwriter Juliette Angelo. Juliette's released an album. It's out now. You can go to Spotify and check it out. But before turning to music, you might recognize her. She was playing June Gallagher on the Reba McEntire series Malibu Country. She also appeared in Haunted Hathaways, NCIS, Mad Men. She was on Broadway at the age of 8. All that, and she's still a humble superstar. We have Juliette on the phone with us. First, Juliette, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Wow.
You saw my Instagram bio.
Yes, I did. Yeah, she's a humble superstar. That's for sure. Well, first, Juliette, how are you feeling? Because you had some crazy thing happen to you like a week ago. You took a pre-workout drink, and tell us the rest.
Oh, my gosh. So, I know, that was 1 week ago yesterday. I'm a workout. I love going to the gym, and I've taken pre-workout before. It's a supplement, but I took a new brand, and it wound up causing me to have a minor stroke, a TIA, and I had to go to the hospital, the ER, and do a bunch of scans and tests and figure out what was going on. But it was absolutely terrifying. But I feel fine now. It took 3 or 4 days for my mouth, the left side of my mouth, to come back to life. But yeah, it was horrifying.
Yeah, it had to be a little scary.
It was terrible.
I mean, you're 24 and you're having stroke-like symptoms.
So scary. It really puts everything into perspective, though. Like going through something like that, just how quickly something can happen, you know? Yeah. I just felt afterwards, I was like, I am not doing anything I don't want to do anymore. Life is too short, you know? But, no, I feel fine now, and it was just like a freak thing. Yeah. But, it was definitely... know. I don't have any health issues either, so it was so bizarre that happened. And, yeah, it was the pre-workout. It's happened before to other people. But... yeah, it was just like a random freak thing, but I'm okay. I'm still kicking it.
She's all right. She'll be at the Pub Station Friday night, smiling. And
I'm so excited. I cannot wait. My friend Jessica Brophy is opening, and I've opened there twice for Rob Linus and Caitlin Butts, and now I have my own show, so it's going to be so much fun. Yeah, I can't wait.
She's headlining. She's the main event this Friday night at the Pub Station.
I am.
Well, I mean, you grew up in New Jersey. You lived in California. You were an actress. How did you get to Billings?
I have no idea. I wanted a simpler existence. I grew up in chaos, you know, growing up in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
My home life and everything was always up in the air. No stability. Just crazy life. I will be writing a book at some point, but I wound up moving to Nashville, and then I was randomly in Albuquerque, and I was so done with the chaos, and I'm such an old soul, and I love, you know, real people with real lives, and they're grounded and they're stable, and I had this random dream of Montana. I decided to move here March 1st. I was in Albuquerque. I was fine there, but I didn't love it. And it's so crazy and chaotic and just not really a safe place to plant myself. And Billings was straight up from Albuquerque. So I just decided to go for it. I had, you know, it's just me and my dog. So I packed up my car and just drove to Montana and just started playing music, and things just kind of exploded really fast here. So it's been great. I love it. I haven't been to Wyoming yet, though, but I want to come.
Well, yeah,
no, I have. I drove through.
Well, at least you drove through.
I drove through. I haven't been really outside of Billings. We announced today that I have a Patsy Cline tribute show I do. And we're doing that in Butte, so I'll get to Butte. But I've really just been in Billings. I've been so busy here, and I've been so happy to have some stability that I've enjoyed my time here, you know, but now, like, next spring, summer, I want to be able to I should go to, I'm sure there's a venue in Wyoming that I just haven't really gotten there yet. But I would love to come.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Less people. My kind of place.
Exactly. You can hide out even more in Wyoming than you can in Montana. But,
yeah.
I mean, the nightmare of child stardom, I mean, you lived it.
Legit. Totally.
I mean, I saw you said somewhere where the people that your parents warn you about to not hang with your kid.
Yeah, my Q2.
That's who you were hanging out with.
Yeah, I mean, that was my parents. Like, that was everyone. I didn't grow up around any safe individuals, you know.
No.
And I think that industry attracts parents who are, you know, I don't know what well-adjusted human being would put their kid in the industry. I really don't. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. As a 24-year-old woman now, I think about having kids, and that is the last place I'm going to put them, in an industry where we know people wind up going crazy and they're addicted, and there's so much. I don't understand that. But yeah, I mean, I had a lot. I'm so lucky that I got out of there when I was 21, and I didn't have any contracts holding me there, and I was able to just break free and move. And I mean, I had been working since I was 8. So from 8 to 21, that was all I knew.
Yeah.
And that was all I was taught that I was, you know. It was like, you're an actress. This is what you do. And that was I never really was allowed to develop my own identity or sense of self. Like, it was constantly, what's the most marketable? What makes you the most, you're just able to play all these different roles. Like, you can't form a normal identity in the industry, especially in your most like formative years, you know, when you're a kid. But yeah, it's super dangerous. And I moved out, I quit and left like on a whim, just crazy. When I was 21, I got sober a couple months later and just had to basically rewire my entire brain, and do a lot of work on myself, because I had so much baggage and so many things that I just shoved down, you know. And I'm very lucky and I'm very grateful. I've seen so many girls and guys, but mostly girls, because that was who I was surrounded with, you know. In auditions, you kind of see the same working actresses over and over and over. And I've seen so many of them just completely downward spiral, and they're still out there and still trying to like make a name for themselves. And it is just terrible. It's terrible. Don't do it. If anyone's listening, don't do it. Like, take my word for it. Stick to indie films. Just don't go commercial. Yeah. You know, you can make a great living in the arts and never have to sign yourself to corporate or go fight for an audition in Los Angeles. You don't. I think it's what people teach you, and there's almost like a romantic idea of what Los Angeles is. It's not. It's not. Trust me. It's not. But yeah, I don't know. Now I'm in Montana and living my life.
Yeah, so living in peace, which is good. Yeah, peaceful and sober. Yeah. Go and check her out, Juliette-Angelo.com. She's on Facebook, Instagram. Go to Spotify, and you can listen to her album, Fields of Tennessee, before you go and watch her Friday night at the Pub Station. Well, you said you moved to Billings in like May. You played a couple shows at the pub, or in March. I mean, you opened for Carly Pierce this summer.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I have no idea. I moved here. I started playing bars. I'm very stubborn and hard-headed about doing things the old-fashioned way, because I personally have a vendetta against TikTok. I don't like social media. So I was like, I'm going to do it. I want to make Waylon Jennings proud. What would he do, right? So I just started playing bars. As a sober person too, which is hilarious, but I started playing bars, and I honestly just promoted myself, and it was not, you would think that with my background, it would be easier. I feel like I faced a lot of opposition here because of that. People didn't want an actress from LA, even though I don't identify as that, but that's kind of how I looked. And I just started playing, and slowly things just started to grow. And I asked about Carly Pierce, and apparently they already had me, submitted, which was kind of funny. I was already in talks to do it before I even knew. And then I asked about it, and I was, apparently already in the mix for it. And what do you know? Her agent and manager approved me, and that was it. And then I was opening for Carly for 3,000 people.
Yeah.
I just started playing live pretty much when I moved here too. So it was my first time playing all my original. Yeah, it has been the most
thrown in the fire
summer. I mean, I love getting thrown to the wolves. Like, I'm so comfortable performing. I'm almost delusionally confident when I'm playing. I don't know why, but that was it. I was like, okay, well, I guess people want to hear my music. Here we go. And that was it. And it was huge. I feel like it really kind of solidified myself. And then I opened for Pub one more time, and then I got my own show. And now, I have that. And I'm sure my next step is to book basically the same type of headlining show outside of Billings, probably in Bozeman or something.
Yeah.
But I've learned that when I just sit back and let things happen, that's kind of the best way to do it. Music's not my whole life. I work. I don't know. I don't know how to sit still. So I have a million other passions. And I feel like when I took the pressure off of music, things just unfolded a lot more easily. So Friday night, it's going to be a blast. I can't wait. Just me and my guitar and a stool on stage.
Yeah,
That's
a nice intimate evening with Juliette at the Pub Station Friday night. Mm-hmm. Go and get your tickets now. Well, your tattoos are growing.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the latest one? Is it the
bluebird? I got a bluebird on my wrist. That was the first song I ever wrote, and I kind of have themed arms. I have my animals on my left arm, and I have quotes on my bottom, my forearm, and they're actually my sobriety arms. I didn't start getting tattoos until I got sober, and then I got sober and I needed a new addiction, so I just decided to start getting tattoos. And my right arm, my right forearm is my music arm.
Yeah.
So Bluebird's the first song I ever wrote. I go to Angry Toad Tattoo here in Billings. They're awesome. But I got a little bluebird too.
Why animals? Because you've got the bluebird, a deer, giraffe. I
don't have a giraffe.
A horse.
I have a humming.
Is it a horse?
Yeah, I have a horse, a cheetah, a deer, a hummingbird, a bluebird, a cardinal. I have a phoenix. That's not an animal, but whatever. I have a fox. I have Elvis on my calf. I haven't posted that one yet. I should post that. I have a portrait of Elvis on my my right calf I just got. Yeah, that hurt. That was 12 hours long.
Wow.
Terrible. Yeah, but I love tattoos. I think I have a bumblebee. Yeah, I have a bunch. I just love them. I think that it's like wearing, I like it because I feel like I can wear the most simplest outfit, but I still have all my personality. It's not like I have to dress to showcase who I am. It's my story is painted on me, essentially. So, I don't know. I love them, and I don't mind the feeling for some reason. Yeah. Probably not a good thing, but I enjoy.
She likes the pain.
It feels earned. If tattoos didn't hurt, they wouldn't feel earned.
Well, exactly.
When you sit through a long session and you're like, I earned this piece of art. But I love them. They're a big part of my story and who I am as a person.
Yeah, go and check her out, Juliette-Angelo.com. She's on Facebook, Instagram. Go to YouTube, check out all of her stuff, and also go to Spotify and listen to Fields of Tennessee before you see her Friday night at the Pub Station in Billings. Mm-hmm. Well, what's with Patsy Cline? Because, you did a night of Patsy Cline back in July, and then you're doing more.
I did two. So we did two in Huntley here, and it's just an awesome show. I love Patsy Cline. It's basically, again, me with a guitar.
Yeah.
And I just sing her music for 90 minutes. I mix it up. Like, I'll do her and Loretta and just some older stuff that doesn't really get sung enough anymore. I'll do a couple originals, and that's it. Like, it's just me singing her music. But we did it twice in Huntley, and now January 13th, we're going to do it in Butte at the Covalite Theater, which will be super fun. I should book it in Billings at some point, because I've done it in Huntley, which is 20 minutes outside of Billings, but it'd be fun to do it in the city.
Yeah.
Maybe at, like, the Babcock or something fancy next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. I just love old music. That's where my heart and soul is in the 50s, 60s. I don't know why. My voice fits her music perfectly. I've never had to change a key. I just sing it exactly how she sings it, and it just works. People love it. The show is like a hit every single time.
Oh, I was going to say, you could do that all over the place, and people would flock to it.
I should do it in Wyoming.
You should do it in Wyoming.
I should.
Definitely be
but
a
it's
hit.
so simple. I've learned that people really like simplicity.
Yeah.
And they like the old school way of playing music, which is just, even if you have a band, it's just simple. It's not an overwhelming amount of sound. It's just a voice and a guitar. And I don't know, I don't feel like a lot of people do that anymore. There's so much production on things and so many moving parts that it's like, it's not even music anymore. It's like a performance. It's so different. I like the old, one take, all my songs, all my recordings, one take. Yeah. Like, everything is completely raw. I don't do punch-in vocals or auto-tune or anything. Like, it's exact. What you hear, even on, like, streaming, is exactly how I sound in real life. Like, nothing's going to change. Wow. I sound exactly the same.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm an old fart. I'm an old haggard woman.
Well, one person you're 24. My son's 22. He loves Mac Miller. Your dog's named Mac.
Oh my gosh, he's my favorite.
Yes, you were a huge Mac Miller fan. We went to Pittsburgh last year. We had to go check out the Mac Miller mural, and there was some park there for him or something. But yeah,
I want to go so bad. I loved him. My dog is laying on my lap right now, and he's named after him. His name is Mac Miller. He was just so fantastic, and he was so honest and authentic, and I think that's why so many people loved him, was because it was kind of that thing, like, what you see is what you get. He didn't come off stage and turn into a different person. He was exactly the same. Like, he'd go and perform and then come off stage and be everybody's friend, I just think that's why people loved him so much, and I loved him for how honest he was and how vulnerable he was. And his album Swimming is my favorite. I've listened to that. I don't know, my gosh. I couldn't even tell you how many times. I think I know it front to back. I do one of his songs on my record. His song Dano. I do that on my guitar. And he was just fantastic. And it's, he died really young, and
yeah,
I've just always admired his artistry. He was also a brilliant musician. And he was, like, started off as a rapper, and then he learned how to play all these instruments. And yeah, it's sad that he left so much great music, and he's always really inspired me to just be as real as possible, because that's why I loved him. And there's so many artists now that you don't even know who they are as people, or they're trying to pretend to be something that they're not. And it's just so inauthentic, and I can't even pretend to be fake anymore. My whole life was fake, and now I had to be buttoned up and hush hush my whole life. And I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I'm over it. I'm uncensored. It's such a waste of time, especially after my pre-workout episode. Yeah. Now I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
After that. But yeah, I loved him. I'll have to go to Pittsburgh at some point. I would love to do that. He was the best.
He was awesome. Well, the cover you do, I heard a piano version. Do you play piano too?
The piano version. So I have 2 albums out on streaming, and I have Fields of Tennessee, which is under Juliette, and that came out like a year and a half ago. And then I have the new one that I just put out. That's under my actual name, Juliette Angelo, and it's Fields of Tennessee. So that's the one that'll pop up. But the one I did like a year ago, a year and a half ago, whenever that was I was living in Nashville at the time, and that was actually a pianist out there who I wish I could play piano. I tried. My brain doesn't retain things. I don't know what it is. Like, I have tried to learn Spanish, I think, 4 times. I've tried to learn piano. There's just...
Hey, you can play guitar, so there you go. You were meant for guitar.
That's all you need.
That's all you need.
One instrument that you can play, you're fine. But I think piano is beautiful. I like how portable guitar is. And I know you can bring around a keyboard, but there's something that's so old-fashioned and cool about just like sitting around and playing a guitar, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I love piano. I think it's beautiful, and I love singing with it. But I can play like very basic chords, I think, if I were to relearn. But yeah, guitar is that's my go-to.
Yeah, go to thepubstation.com. Get your tickets now. They're $12. You can't beat it. Go and see her Friday night.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not. This isn't Taylor Swift for $4,000. You can go see Juliette for $12. It's a Friday night. There's no damn excuse. Exactly, it should be. Go see her now before it's $4,000.
I could never do that. I don't care how famous I could get one day. I could never charge that much money for
it's
me.
Insanity. Yeah.
Like $5,000 to just come see me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, absolutely not. No, y'all, I'll be cheap for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Come on out.
Come on out and see her. What is your guitar? Because I love your guitar. It's cool looking.
It's an Ibanez. I've had her since I was like 14. She is beefy. Like, it's a really wide guitar. I had another one. I had a Lindo White Dove guitar that I ordered. It was my first, one of my first big purchases for myself. And then I moved to Albuquerque, and I got robbed, and they stole my guitar.
Oh.
So, I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that terrible?
Oh, that's awful.
Never found her. I mean, it's Albuquerque. They don't care.
No.
Albuquerque's like a guitar. Get over it. We have other major things to worry about, lady.
We got a lot bigger problems.
But I so basically I had to go back to this other guitar that I didn't even play anymore. But the sentimental value is so much greater than the other one. I actually was moving out of Nashville, and I was driving through Goodwill, and I was donating all my stuff because I drove a 2-door Mustang, and I couldn't fit anything in my car, so I was donating everything. And I handed over my guitar, like my guitar from when I was 14, the one I play now. And I was friends with the guy at Goodwill, and I was like, I don't know, I can't really fit it in my car. He was like, no, you need to keep it. You've had this since you were 14. So he's the reason I still have it.
Yeah.
And a couple weeks later, I got robbed, and they took the other one. So I feel like that was kind of meant to be.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm back to my original, the guitar I pretty much kind of learned how to really play on, and we just have been singing around town together.
Yeah. Palling around. Her and her guitar. You can see them Friday night, Pub Station. Go to Spotify. It's also on Apple Music, and listen to Fields of Tennessee. Juliette Angelo. You go to juliette-angelo.com and check her out and go get your tickets and see her Friday night. Well, Juliette, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Here she is. Here's her song, Skin and Bones. It's Juliette Angelo. It's KIX 96.5.